Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Couch Potato Queens, talking about The Bachelor, Matt James. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm here with my best Judy, Ken.
Hi, how's it going?
There's Ken, ready to chit-chat and get it going. So we are here, and we are talking about episode 8 of The Bachelor. Hometowns. Follow me on Instagram, apparently. Here we are.
Just getting the fans engaged.
Just getting the fans engaged. Follow me on Instagram right now, baby.
You like her already.
Great. So this is Hometowns. And if you watched this season of The Bachelorette, you know that hometowns this year are not like hometowns in the past. We are not going to the hometowns. We are bringing the hometowns to us. And man, is it awkward because nothing about these hometowns actually seem like they're there. And
not even the Canadian one.
No. I feel like this is going to be a really short episode, guys. So, sorry in advance if it's real short, but
or you're
really
welcome.
not much happened in this until the end. So we're just gonna dive right into it. Our first hometown that is happening is Michelle's hometown, and Michelle is bringing us to Minnesota because she's a Minnesota gal, and she opens up by having her and Matt ride some bikes. Kendra, is there anything that you are excited to see on this hometown? Anything that you're like expecting to happen or going into it?
Honestly, I'm expecting just a lot of wholesomeness, a lot of like, this is a wonderful, beautiful American family thing.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, Lori, how's it going? Nice to see you again. But, other than that, not too much. I just think it's going to be an easy ride, to be honest.
Yeah, I think out of everybody, Ken was texting me right before we started watching and was like, who are you excited to see? And I said, Michelle out of love and Rachel out of curiosity.
Yes, I felt the exact same way. But Michelle's date did make me cry. I'm not going to lie.
Oh my God, I cried too.
I thought of you. I was like, this is what Alex should do if she was on The Bachelor and had a hometown date. She has students.
Oh my God.
Sorry to out you.
You're fine. Yeah. I cry at TV all the time. But I've never once cried at The Bachelor.
No, me either.
This moment, I did cry. So we start on bike rides. I don't know what that has to do with Minnesota, but apparently work.
They ride
bikes. So they show up and we are going into Miss Young's classroom, which is such a cute idea for a date. So cute. Oh my goodness, Dolores. Hello, Dolores. I'm so excited to see you here. Dolores is a regular on our podcast for Drag Race. So I'm so excited to see you here on our Bachelor podcast. This is Ken, my best friend. And so glad to have you here, Dolores. And I agree. You know what? All these dates seemed pretty cheap, honestly, except for one that we will get to in a minute.
Yeah. I have two opinions on that.
But this date was really cute. I really did enjoy seeing all of her students. And that is something that if I wasn't already in a long-term partnership, I would want my students to approve of the person I was dating.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Exactly. And I really like that, like, she showed him what her life is like. Like, this is my daily life. These are the people that I deal with. Like, I love that my partner knows who my work people are. You have to know that. So I thought it was a nice insight for them. And it was just so adorable. I loved all their questions. I love that, like, I love Mammy, who asked him exactly how many girlfriends he had right now.
This child was like, you are my idol.
Yes.
This child was like, I want to have 4 girlfriends when I'm an adult. Like, the fact that these children were just grilling Matt was so funny.
And they were all wearing Team Miss Young shirts.
I love it. I was obsessed with that. And I think her date was honestly the most successful. So we get past the students, which I was, again, obsessed
Crying.
with. I literally cried.
Right. Yes.
Tears out of my eyes.
I didn't know what was happening to my ovaries. I was just like, why are these children on Zoom making me cry?
100%. I'm like,
on TV.
I want children now. So we get into a picnic where Matt is asking what to expect from her family, and she's saying that her family is really close and she's excited for him to meet the parents. And we get to the parents, and here they are.
100% agree.
I know. Dolores, I'm not sure if you are caught up with the whole season of The Bachelor or you just watched this episode, but I want to know who your front runner is, Dolores. I'm curious. Who are you rooting for right now? Because we are a Team Michelle household.
We are.
On this podcast. But I'd like to know. We get to meeting the parents, and I will say this right now, I would die for Michelle's dad. Hit me with a car.
Honestly, both of them. I died when I saw her mom playing basketball. I was just like, this is what families do? Who is this?
I know. I'm like,
just like doing a layup in her little Minnesota womanness, like white woman, Minnesota woman. So weird. Dolores likes Michelle.
Same, Dolores. We agree 100%. I knew that you'd be Team Michelle with us, Dolores. Here for it. We love this family. This really did feel like her parents were inviting Matt into the family, whereas everyone else was kind of like
very on the fence.
Very on the fence, or like very robotic. But this honestly seemed like we were watching somebody meet someone, like watching someone meet someone's significant other's parents. Like I related to that. You know?
It was so wholesome.
Yeah, like this seemed honest and one of the most honest moments of the season. So snaps to you, Michelle. Great date. Wonderful. Yep. We move on to our next date, which is Rachel's date. And she blindfolds him and puts him in a car, then is driving down the middle of the road, real chaotic. What state is she from? I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I forgot to write it down. It was one of the Carolinas or Virginia.
Oh, I think it's North Carolina.
That was my first thought, and then my
North Carolina. But she's from North Carolina, I think. But I just want to know, what does skydiving have to do with North Carolina?
I have no idea.
How is this your hometown?
I have honestly no idea. I hate the way it starts and I hate the way it ends. I just need to say that I think it shows like how much money she has and how little she cares about it. Like when she comes up in this fancy as fuck car, but then her, I'm sure, very expensive clothes are all like the ripped up clothes that are so cool streetwear right now. And it just made me mad. I was like, this girl can't even wear a nice outfit in this car.
Dolores, I absolutely agree.
I do too.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if she wins, I'm going to be very happy. But at the same time, I think Michelle could.
Michelle would be an amazing bachelorette. And I would love, like, the only thing that makes me want Michelle to get her heart broken on the season is so that she can be handed a bachelorette season.
Yes, I want to know more about her.
Dolores, yes. Kendra, you don't watch Drag Race, but this is a Drag Race reference.
I don't even care. Rachel totally has an H&M wardrobe.
Dolores, I am cackling. That's so funny. So funny. I don't want to see any fucking H&M. RuPaul had a meltdown and screamed that at a drag queen who's wearing H&M on the runway.
I love that.
Absolutely, Lori. Matt is not good enough for Michelle. 100%. Absolutely. I agree. Matt's kind of giving me like real weird sad boy vibes this whole episode.
Me too. I'm really like falling off the Matt train.
Yeah, really falling off the Matt train 100%. But we'll see. Maybe
Dolores agrees with Lori.
I know. Maybe we have some future BFFs in the comment section.
Maybe we do. Dolores.
But back to the state. What is going on with skydiving? What
does that have to do with anything?
Like
anything. I want to go, but what?
Is that like your city sanctioned sport? Like that doesn't make any sense. But
I've obviously never done it before.
Whatever. They go skydiving. They're both strapped on to these random men. The man that Rachel strapped onto looks like he's in high school. This looks like a bad situation from the beginning. Like, I'm just like, who let this man strap Rachel to his chest? Who allowed that to happen? Because probably my favorite moment of the season is when Rachel falls.
I do.
You see Rachel just collapse and plummet and hit the ground. I was like, this is what we all needed to see for everybody who's been just having their heart tugged on and the anger that we are all feeling towards Rachel right now. In that moment where we saw her face just plummet into the ground, we were all just sitting in our chairs with our little drinks like, karma's a bitch.
It was wonderful. It really was. I hated the way she played it off, though.
Absolutely, Dolores.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100% karma. She is here for the karma. 100%. And it was hilarious. Matt honestly did not seem like he knew what to do about it. He just was like sitting there. Also, something to note, her hair was like a total mess, and then they like cut and her hair's perfect.
Yep. Also, like, she was so distressed about it, but at the same time, she looked totally fucking fine.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've never fallen out of a plane, but you seem fine.
From the plane, they were landing and they just didn't catch their feet, so they fell. Like, it was, and I will get to that later because that's gonna come up again for me. But go on.
So we end this skydiving trauma, and we get to the family. We have Rachel's mom, dad, and sister here. Her younger sister, Trinity.
Lord help us.
Who does not say a word. She literally doesn't say anything.
Hi,
Tom. Literally doesn't say a single thing. Not one word, Trinity. Nothing.
Nope. She has no words.
Not one single thing. But this mom, I will say, this mom has so much Botox in her face.
That's so uncomfortable. But also at the same time, so many set wrinkles.
And like, I know we're doing it right now because we're trying to like laugh through how uncomfortable this whole scene was. But this woman was laughing at everything. When she's like, Rachel, do you want to have a chat in the other room? And Rachel's like, yeah. And then they go and Rachel's like, Mom, I fell out of a plane. And her mom's like, oh no.
That's terrifying.
That's what happened.
It was.
Like, girl,
oh my God.
If I had the funds, I would probably get the work done too. And Rachel's dad was weird.
I 100% agree. Rachel's dad was so weird. He creeped me out. And I think that her sister is like under the control and she's very confused as to why everyone is there. It's probably on too much Xanax.
Lori, I feel like we were all dying a little bit on the inside watching this family because we, like, We all know what has gone on with this fam. We all know.
Mm-hmm. No, we're just trying to put it together. It makes a lot of sense.
We're putting the actions to the faces.
Her dad is so convinced that Matt is not right for her, that they need to stop what they're doing, or at least really slow it down, because this is just not right. He's not convinced at all, no matter who he talks to. I wonder if it's because you just don't want him in your family.
Who knows?
What do we expect?
Man.
Yeah, I wonder how much she got just before her TV debut.
Oh, I'm sure that she was like going to her person like, I'm going to be on television. But like, girl, this is not a read to anybody who gets Botox, girl.
No, it's not. It's fine. You can get Botox. Just
girl,
don't get bad Botox. And don't, be mindful about how a face ages.
Get your Botox, but why are you getting Botox and then laughing at your daughter falling out of a plane? Like, what a weird response. I'm sorry, but like, what?
Yeah. Well, and she was so bad that she didn't get to go. She was like, Rachel, I'm here. Why didn't you tell me?
Oh my goodness. Dolores, I'm so glad that you said Dr. Will, because we will be doing a Big Brother podcast. And girl, cannot wait to talk to you about Big Brother. Awesome. So that's Rachel's date. She falls out of a plane. Just typical Bachelor stuff.
Typical. It's what happens in North Carolina.
Yep. And great. So next we move on to Bree's date. And Dolores, you said it earlier, cheap date. You want to talk about a cheap date? That was Bree's date, baby.
Yep.
Because they go off-roading, which was just the beginning of Rachel's date, but that's their whole date.
Yep, that's it. They stop at a field.
It's just the whole date.
I mean, it's fun, but like, that's like a part of a date. Like, just part of a date. You don't do the whole date. They're just off-roading. Like, what does that take? Half an hour? 15 minutes? That's it.
Josh, I hope you saw Dolores's Big Brother comments, because the only bigger Big Brother fan than me on the Couch Potato Queens is Josh. So, but yeah, this date was bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, what a date that is like the clear person who's going home this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Like, lame date, lame picnic.
Yep, I don't like it.
Family.
Yeah, the family wasn't lame, I didn't think. It was just kind of awkward.
But it was the same situation where it was the mom and the friend didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was disappointed that we didn't get to see any talks with the friend. The baby was kind of awkward. Apparently, Bree has like an infant sister.
Yeah, but where was she?
That's what I said. After she like held her for like 3 seconds.
Where did she go?
Like, where's the baby? No one's holding the baby.
Where did it go?
Other family member is here who doesn't want to be on TV. Like, does Matt get to meet them, or?
I will say though, I did really like Bree's mom. She seemed like she gave me like real big Gilmore Girls vibes.
Yes, like, that's what I was thinking too. She was very reassuring, and she like talked Bree through her feelings and like kind of helped her figure out if what she was feeling. I liked that.
Yeah. And me and Ken love Gilmore Girls, so I think that's why we both were just like here for this energy.
Yes. It was boring, but I was here for Bree's mom for sure.
Yeah, I was here for Bree's mom. And you know what? I'd love to see Bree's mom on the senior Bachelor that's happening.
That would be really cool.
I hope that we get that. I hope that we get like Bachelor canon parents on that season.
That would be kind of cool. But also, I think Bree's mom just had this infant baby.
Whatever.
Well, I mean, so maybe she has someone.
Like, what if she doesn't?
But maybe she doesn't. You're right.
I just really, really like Bree's mom. Who knows?
Dude, she's really pretty.
She's gorgeous. I'm just like here for this energy.
Yes.
But to really end the date, the most notable thing that happened is Bree says, I think that I'm falling in love with you, Matt. And Matt responds with the worst possible response. We've heard it before from him, guys, and it is, thank you for sharing that with me. The inevitable kiss of death from Matt James. Thank you for sharing that with me in response to a profession of love.
I agree. That would be wonderful.
Yes, Dolores Bachelor Senior is happening. If you noticed, when the episodes are on, they ask for casting, and they're asking for seniors who are looking for casting.
I want to get my grandma on.
I am so excited for that season, honestly, more so than regular Bachelor.
I could, like, I know, you know how many old single men I know, Alex?
That's like all of it. Okay, for anybody who does not know, Kendra's friends are me, our friend Brent, who's like our age, and then just a bunch of like middle-aged men.
It's fine.
like middle to senior men.
Are they middle-aged anymore?
No, they're like full-on senior men. Like that is Kendra's friends.
It's fine. I need all the grandpas.
Just like big grandpa energy all the time.
Yeah. It's not weird though.
It's not at all. Very nice people.
Just gonna throw that out there.
Every single one, very nice. Yeah, Brie gets the kiss of death on The Bachelor. Thank you for sharing that with me. And right at that moment, we kind of know that she is not going to make it through this episode. That is the vibe that is coming off of Brie.
That's my vibe too. Yep.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, well, you're gone.
Yep, same.
You're done.
Yep. Surprises are in store.
So we move on to Serena's hometown, and Serena's from Ontario, Canada. And this whole date is just a bunch of stereotypes in an empty ballroom thing at a hotel about Canada. What a lame date. Imagine that someone else's date was literally skydiving and yours is eating cold poutine.
That he's never even had before, which like amazed me, first of all, and it also made me hungry for poutine.
I know. I mean, like, look at Matt. Matt's never eaten poutine.
I know, but it's weird to me. Like, how have you not
Matt just like rides his Peloton bike and grows food for inner city children.
Hydroponic garden food, yes.
That's all he does.
Very true. Very true.
I was time for poutine.
What would our hometown date look like if we did that? Like a Michigan hometown date. We would have like conies, cherries.
Like, here's a chili dog.
Yeah. Here's a cup of cherries. Here's a euro. A piece of pizza, maybe.
Like Little Caesars.
I'm thinking like Detroit.
No, it'd be like old cars because we'd be like, we're the Motor City. That's what it'd be. It'd be like some old car bullshit.
Cruise. We'd make a dream cruise.
That is exactly what would happen. If you were on The Bachelor, because you've always said you wanted to be on it. If you were on The Bachelor, your hometown date would be you in like a poodle skirt or something and talking about the dream cruise in like some old car.
They would have to actually, that wouldn't be bad, like for them to take me through the dream cruise so they could see my true personality. Because I have a megaphone in my car to yell at people who watch the dream cruise.
Sand dunes, I can see it.
Yeah, that would be so much more fun. That's much more my vibe than the dream cruise. I don't yell at people there.
Agreed, Dolores. This date was so cheap. They put up some Party City ass flags.
Yes, they did.
Room with the Canada flag. They gave Matt like some weird quiz about Canada.
It was so weird. What's our most common slang?
Okay.
Is that's no, that's not really slang. That's
like no. This date was whack. I'm sorry. This date made no sense.
It was
Super weird.
Anyway. I totally bet they did.
Absolutely did. They were just like, Steven.
Hey, intern for The Bachelor?
Steven, we need you to go get some Canada-themed party decorations.
Cut out some maple leaves, please.
Steven's like, oh, I always have to do this.
I fucking hate crepe paper, man.
Oh, jeez. So we get to Serena's family, And her mom and her dad and her sister were there. And I'm so glad we finally got some speaking from the sister.
Yes, finally.
Finally. And this family is, they seem nice, they seem cool, but one thing that really made me feel weird was right at the beginning when they're all sitting down and like everyone's just met.
Mm-hmm.
And the sister goes, "Oh, what did you do?" She's like, "I did the step stool thing." And they're all like laughing and like, small talking. And then the dad just yells over everybody and goes, "What was your impression?"
I forgot about that.
I like had to make a note of it because I'm like, why did he just interrupt everyone to say
Probably
that?
because he has 2 daughters and a wife who talk a lot, and he doesn't get to get a word in edgewise, and he needs to talk to this man.
So much happened in this episode that really stood out to me. So, like, y'all go back and watch just the dad be like, "What was your impression?" Because he like full on, he's like yell this question.
I love that.
I was just like, okay, go off, Dad.
Go for it, Dad.
Yeah. So how did you feel about this conversation that Serena had with her mom and her sister? How did you feel about all of that, Kendra?
After Bree's Day, I'm thinking that we're losing 2 girls tonight.
Same.
Yep. I really appreciated Serena's honesty, though. She's been very honest through this whole process, and I really like that she was honest with herself and with her family that she's having serious doubts, and that she, Matt checks all the boxes, but that's it. When she was asked how she felt about him, she really couldn't say much. She just kept saying, well, like, we're really good together. We fit well together. We're good together. He's this, he's this, he's this. But she couldn't say how she felt about him. And there's definitely something missing, and everyone in her family caught on to that.
Totally. And that's cool because normally on The Bachelor, people are just like pretty, one-dimensional and just, well, if you don't think he's the one for you, don't do it.
Yeah.
But they had like an honest conversation, and that's something similar to Michelle, but in the opposite sense, where Michelle's family was giving their honest support. This family was giving their honest,
support too, but
for her to get out of there. Because it's not like she was it's not like she was in a bad situation or anything and they needed to like get her out of there.
Right.
But she needed to get out of there because, like she didn't want to be there. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you need that kick in the pants to be like, just because you're on TV, girl, and it doesn't mean it's right.
I agree.
Yeah. So Serena and Matt walk out of this family meeting, and Matt says, "How do you think it went?" She says it went good. And she voices some of her doubts, and Matt just says to not think about them.
I hate
and kisses her.
Yep.
Matt's number one move when things get too hard. Just
trust me, and then kiss.
Just kiss him.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
I know. I hated that. That made me mad, and I'm glad that she recognized that too, because she was like, "I'm so upset. Like I'm freaking out," and he was just like, "It's fine.
Just don't think about it."
Yeah, she was just like, "What the hell?" Yeah, what the hell? It was weird.
Yeah. I think really that was like the nail in the coffin for her, because if he had been more open to actually talking to her about how she felt, they might have been able to work past it, because she did have feelings for Matt.
I agree.
And they do have chemistry, but it's just like, if you're going to tell her to just not think about it,
that's not going to go anywhere. Right, exactly. And I think that he sees it as constantly reassuring her, because he has said that so many times, that he's reassured her a lot. But it's not reassuring her. It's having a conversation.
I can for sure see that, Dolores. I feel like Matt is like a good guy at heart, but he just doesn't know how to be the Bachelor. Like, we've said this on the podcast a few times, and Matt seems like an interesting, good person, but he has no idea how to be the Bachelor, and that's why he let so much like bullshit happen at the beginning of the season.
Right, like he wasted a lot of time at the beginning.
Just wasted a ton of time at the beginning, and he probably got rid of a lot of girls that he might have liked.
Yep,
because he was too busy being bad at being the Bachelor.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that this is just another example of that, Dolores. So totally. Yeah. But so that's the end of their date.
Yep.
That is the hometowns. Let us know if there's anybody that you were like that surprised you on their date, or that you're rooting for now, or any moments that you liked. Yeah, he is in over.
100% agree. Been saying that since day one.
You can tell he is stressed out.
Yep.
He is not here.
The second he stepped into this show, he has been weighing over his head.
Yeah. Also, why did Matt James stop talking about God?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, like he hasn't done it in like 5 episodes.
It doesn't sell well.
I know, like episode 1, he was like God, 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 and now it's just like never.
People didn't like it, apparently.
I know. I'm like, I thought this was like a major part of your personality.
The focus group said no.
I know. It's like this was like who you were, and now it's just gone.
At least on TV.
Like my toast on night 1 is a prayer, and now it's nothing. Now we will never mention God again. That was it. That was it. So we get a little conversation with Matt and Chris Harrison, and Chris Harrison says, they told him to stop and move on. They're like, "That's enough, Matt." Yep. Matt is saying he's not sure what he's going to do, and that he tells him a little bit about the Serena talk from last night. And Chris says, "Well, you got to get to the bottom of it before, we hand out another rose."
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happens. Matt shows up at the hotel the next day, and he walks into a room, and Serena is sitting on a couch doing nothing, and she acts surprised to see him.
So surprised to see you here.
What interrupted me while I was just sitting here in this closed room doing nothing?
That only has a couch in it.
I'm so shocked.
Weird, but anyway.
How did you think that this, like, when you saw this happening, where did you think this conversation was going? What did you think was happening?
I thought Serena was going to break up with him. I really did. Yeah, for sure. She knew that she was, from that talk with her family, she knew she was not in here.
Yeah, you were like, she's done.
For sure. Yeah. And I knew it was going to be her leaving, because Matt was telling Chris that he wants to fight for it, and he really has feelings for her, and he took her on 2 one-on-ones. So he's willing to like feel this out even more, even if she's not very sure about it.
Yeah.
And he told her just to forget about her doubts and just to trust him. So I think that he's just trying to keep her here. So I think he's trying to talk it out, and maybe she would have left during the rose ceremony, but I think she was going to break up with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Like when you walked in, you could tell that she was not here. Like she was not done up. She was not putting on any, air of anything. Like she was here to just say her piece and get out. She didn't even seem very receptive to what Matt had to say. Like she wasn't excited to see him. She was kind of just like,
I could just feel it. Yeah. She was definitely leaving him.
Ultimately, Serena tells Matt that he is not her person. And Matt is, at least in my opinion, visibly angry. Like Matt looks mad. I feel like if Matt wasn't on television, he probably would have like had like an outburst, not like angry.
Yeah.
Like he probably would have had like a more
of a reaction.
Yeah, more of a reaction.
He was silent. He like grunted a couple times and just like, I don't know. It just sucks. It just sucks.
It stinks.
It just, yeah.
Stinks.
Nah, they kept saying it stinks.
Yeah.
It was so weird. Yeah, he was just really torn up.
Yeah.
I think he was mad. And I think that
this is the second girl to break up with him.
Yeah, and I think that when we get to the rose ceremony, you see even more how mad he was. I have strong opinions about what he says at the rose ceremony.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think that Matt didn't like being dumped on TV, or do you think that he didn't like being dumped by Serena on TV?
I think that he felt cheated out of the process. I think he was mad that Serena took up space.
Yeah.
I think that because he said this is a conversation that we should have had weeks ago, not now.
Yeah.
And so I think that he was mad that he kept her.
But I mean, he really like I get
And he
that.
really liked her. Andy really liked her, so there's
Yeah.
that too. But
And like for Matt, like I get that. Like that sucks because like you are the Bachelor and you are here to like find your person.
right.
But all the people that are here are not forced to want to be with you.
Right. No, I don't agree with him.
Yeah, they're also allowed to say no at
Yes.
any time.
Yes, just like you do every week.
Yeah. How long have they been together at this point? How long has this been going on? It's been like 6 weeks.
I don't even
8
know.
weeks.
We're in episode 8, so 8 weeks.
I think it's like 7 weeks. I think
7 weeks. That sounds right. Yeah, that
I
sounds
think it's
right.
like 7 weeks. So with that being said, you can date somebody, get into a relationship with them, and then realize it's not working out in that time.
Yeah, definitely. It happens every day.
Yeah, so she has just as much right to be like, I'm out of here as he does.
Mhm.
And if it takes up to hometowns, if it takes up to him proposing and getting onto
Yes.
one knee, and
Yes.
she wants to do that, fine. Go off, sis.
I agree.
Do it. Get out of there.
I agree. I don't think there's any time limit on it.
I do like when Matt finally like calms down a little bit and he says, "Do you want to walk me downstairs?"
Yeah, big smile.
I like that. That was a nice full circle moment and kind of like a moment of triumph for all the other women who had their hearts broken on the show, that they then got to see Matt have the same thing happen to him. So nice circle there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Matt is crying in the car and he's crying in the confessional. So he's taking this hard.
Yeah, he's not happy.
Yeah. He is not happy at all. So we do end up having a rose ceremony this episode, which was, I was surprised.
I was too.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Well, they need something to take up the time.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking Matt has something to say, and he did.
And I thought that Bree was going to go home.
I did too, but now I'm like, there were 3 roses there, so I was like, okay, obviously she isn't. But until I saw 3 roses there, I did still think that she could go home.
I thought she was going home up until he handed her that rose.
Really?
I thought that he was going to pull some bullshit and do, Michelle, here's your rose. And this is the order it happened. Michelle, here's your rose.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel, here's your rose.
Mm-hmm.
And holding the rose like he does, that, like what you always say that you hate.
Mm-hmm.
Holding the rose and then saying, Bree, you're really special to me and we have a great connection, but unfortunately I can't give you this rose tonight. I thought that was going to happen at a fucking rose ceremony. I
would have been so fucking mad, Alex.
I just feel like Matt's like, next week is fantasy suites and I might as well with 3 women instead of 2. I mean, like, probably not. That's me being all men are shitty.
But the one thing that he said at the rose ceremony that I don't want to skip over is that I think he essentially threatens them.
Yeah.
Like, he warns them. He's like, do not take this rose tonight unless you are ready to marry me.
Yeah.
And he says it like with force. Like, he's not like, oh, he's like, do not. And he's like, says it multiple times and in multiple ways. Like,
yeah,
don't continue unless you're ready to marry me.
The weight of this rose and what this rose means.
And it's like, dude, they have a right to change their mind. They might realize after they see your tiny dick or something that they don't want to marry you. Or maybe it's just that the feeling isn't there. It doesn't matter what the reason is. They have a right to break up with you whenever they want to. It could be after you're engaged.
Anytime. Y'all can have 9 kids together and they could be like, you know what, actually, I don't accept that rose, Matt.
Exactly. That made me mad. Like, I really didn't like how high and mighty he got there. I was like, if he said that, I would have been like, okay, bye. No, thank you.
Yeah, good for her. Get out of there.
Yeah, I agree. Don't
the family dates, I feel like is fine if you're on the fence because then you can get someone else's opinion. But if you stick around to the overnight dates, that's a little more like you had your chance to like get others' opinions and really get to know somebody and then leave. So I get what you're saying for sure.
Yeah, I get that.
Oh my God.
Doesn't matter what the reason is.
Yeah, but all the women, I mean, Michelle accepts her rose and says, what did she say when she took the rose?
Michelle says, yes, without hesitation.
Without hesitation. I'm like, girl, get it.
Yeah.
You are
played
here
into that.
for this.
Yeah. Yep.
Michelle is like, hello, I'm your wife.
Yup.
Michelle's like, I don't know why these other two women are here because I'm your wife.
She knows that. Like when she's talking about fantasy suite, she's like, it's like all I have to do is get to this fantasy suite, and then I've got my hubby. Like this pussy's good.
That's like essentially what Michelle is saying, and I'm just like, go off, sis.
I know, I love
like,
it. I'm here for it.
Work, girl.
I believe you.
So next week is Women Tell All.
Yes.
And I will say I'm more excited for this than any episode that is to come. I'm more excited for this than the finale.
Oh, me too. Traditionally, I would skip the Women Tell All because it's like, who cares? But this one is going to be wonderful.
This Women Tell All is going to be a bloodbath.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so here for it.
Me too. I hope you are as well.
So this does bring us into our superlatives of the episode.
Yes.
So please let us know who your love connection is of the episode. Kendra, who is your top love connection of the episode?
Mine is Michelle and her students.
God.
Honestly, like I can't. Like if that made me cry. That was so sweet.
I'm like about to cry right now thinking about
I know. I was too, but we were talking about it earlier. It's like these fucking kids, dude.
Whoever was like in charge of that Zoom call, like the person who was like literally like in charge of the call.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, that must have been a nightmare because like those kids were probably like all talking over each other and like
I saw one girl mute herself as soon as she was done asking her question, and I was like, way to go, girl.
Oh, that wasn't her.
You don't think so?
Yeah, there was a silent host of that Zoom meeting who had their camera off.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
As a teacher who teaches on Zoom,
yeah,
those students could never. I don't care how good they are.
They're gonna see this and they're gonna come after you.
I mean, sorry, kids, do that. My love connections, obviously, Michelle, but more importantly, Michelle's dad.
Yeah, I like that. I'm here for that.
Michelle's dad is just like the sweetest person ever. When I saw him, I'm just like, I want to like wrap you in a blanket and just like I don't know, like I'm obsessed with that man. I don't know why. I think you're like reminds me of my own father, probably. I'm just like obsessed.
I could see it.
Right? That guy had like my dad energy.
Yeah, I could totally see that.
I'm like, oh my God, it's like my dad.
Love it.
Yeah, so top love connection, Michelle's fucking dad. Amazing.
Yes.
And our hot mess of the episode. Kendra, what's your hot mess of the episode?
Mine is Rachel's reaction to her fall when she tells her mom that she fell, and she's like, her mom's like, oh, did you get really hurt? And she's like, well, I have a lot of makeup on, and makeup covers things. And she's like, oh, are you really bruised up? And she's like, I paused it and was like, fuck you, bitch. You are not bruised up. You are fucking fine.
Girl, we saw you hit the ground.
Oh my God. It made me so mad.
We saw you hit the ground, girl. You have no bruises. You have no
well, I have a lot of makeup on,
You have no abrasions, girl.
Fine. You're fine.
We did too.
Oh my God.
Girl,
we did.
No.
I tried to feel bad about it, but I couldn't.
You know what? You know who else died laughing? Her fucking mom did. Her mom died laughing too.
Is that your hot mess?
No, she's not my hot mess because we can say whatever we want about that mom. We can say that she has horrible opinions, that she's whatever. We can say whatever we want about her, but she looks snatched. So good for her there. But my hot mess is the child that Rachel was strapped to coming out of the plane.
The one who crash landed her?
Yes. Who was that child? I mean, honestly, he's like the hero because he's the one that crashed Rachel into the ground.
Right? They hired him. He's never done this before.
But like, I'm sorry. Did you like he like every time that she was like, I'm literally falling for Matt, he was in the background like I'm just like, I don't want to see this person on television.
No, with his weird glasses.
I'm sorry.
I'm here for it.
Like this person looks like somebody who got so bullied in middle school that they became a bully in high school.
Yes.
And, girl, you know, we saw 2 crash test dummies on Drag Race this week, or the past few weeks. So now we're getting them on Bachelor as well. And Lori, I am so excited for Queen to get the airtime she deserves.
Yes, me too. We need to hear more from her for sure.
I feel like Queen is going to be running this Women Tell All.
She was running the whole show before she left. Of course she is.
She will be running this Women Tell All. It'll be a Queen, like just rename it Queen Tells All.
Queen Tells All. Yeah. I 100% agree.
Anyway, y'all, it is that time. Go ahead and give me a follow on Instagram at alexknowsitall.jpg. I'm also on Twitter. You can pretty much find me anywhere if you look up Alex Knows It All. Also follow Ken. There is Ken's information.
That's me on Instagram at Ken.joy.yw and Twitter at Ken.joy.yw.
And as always, follow us. Like and subscribe so that you can, see more videos. We have a lot of videos. We have a Bravo podcast that happens. We have a Drag Race podcast that happens. And this one as well. So, and Survivor, y'all. And thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Sparkle, y'all. Bye.
Bye.